Dude, Flax is on top of this shit. How do I even fucking compete? Dude, like, do you see this, bro? He's got fucking videos posted on his second account. Meanwhile, I'm trying to grow my first account, Flax brother. Lock the fuck in. Let a small fucking creator like me, like myself, who's trying to do some good for himself, let me get some of the shine, brother. What the fuck? What's going on, YouTube? It's Diablo, back with another video. Today we're going to be looking over the Season 5.5 patch notes. They just dropped yesterday, I believe. So we're going to be going through them, talking about each hero's buff or nerf. And at the very end, we'll take a look at Rogue. I'll show her gameplay trailer and what I personally think about it and how I think she's going to impact the gameplay of Marvel Rivals. Alright, so let's get into it. So we got Emma Frost. Not a lot is happening with her. They're removing her team-up ability, I believe, which is going to take away her anchor bonus of 100 health. So she was sitting at 650, but they're increasing her base health from 550 to 600. So she'll be at a steady 600 health. She won't get 100 bonus health for being the team-up anchor anymore. I don't think it's going to change too much. Emma is still super crazy. She's still a main meta tank. That's not going to change her too much. Next up, we got Penny Parker. Base health reduction from 750 to 700. I don't think that's going to change too much. She still gets all her overshield from her webs and the speed boost. Plus, she gives it to her team still. I think Penny will still be a great defensive pick. Alright, for the thing. Ben Grimm's punches hit harder and his crowd control lasts longer. It's clobbering time. Increased Stone Haymaker bonus damage equal to enemies' max health per hit from 8% to 10%, so he's getting a damage boost on his Stone Haymaker. Love to see that. I'm a big Thing main. I love Thing. He was the first character I lured in. I painted myself orange when he came out. If you guys didn't know, at 100 subscribers, I'm going to paint myself orange, and I'm going to do the Thing cosplay again. I used to do it back in the day when he first came out. I did it for like a month straight. We'll be doing a stream painting this Thing. We'll be doing a few videos, so if you can't make it to the stream, you can still have some big fat orange man content to watch. At 100 subscribers, that is going to happen. But I love myself a Thing buff. They absolutely shredded him after Season 1.5, and he needs to get back into the meta. He's so good. I love playing the Thing. But his Stone Haymaker is getting a damage buff and increase the duration of lingering anti-mobility field after Yancey Street Charge from 3 to 5 seconds. That's a little crazy, I can't lie. So after your shift ability, your rush in and slam, the field you leave behind where you ground people is now staying 2 seconds longer. It's actually going to stay 2 seconds longer, which is a little crazy. So if you play any sort of dive and get hit by this, get hit with things, Yancey Street Charge, you're basically dust. I really like that update. Hopefully they keep buffing him and he'll just slowly rise back into the meta. Thor takes some lessons from his battles against zombies to heart. The God of Thunder is ready to take control of his lightning with increased flexibility. During Storm Surge, instead of being unable to change the direction of movement, Thor can now freely adjust it while dashing and move in any direction. That's kind of crazy. So he might be able to play like an Angela or a Wolverine now, possibly, perhaps. Like he may be able to displace, like he was able to displace before this buff, but now he's going to be able to like turn people back into the team. That's going to go crazy. So when he uses his little swingy hammer and whoosh and flies away, he can now move any way he wants to. And they added that in the zombies mode, and now they're just putting that into his kit. I think that's really, really, really cool. I think that's going to allow him to play a lot more like Wolverine or like Angela. Alright, and that was it for the tanks. That's it, huh? Okay. Now we're on the Duelist. We have Blade. The Daywalker slightly sharpens his edge and his resilience. Blade was in desperate need of a buff. He's been kind of lackluster since he came out, so I'm glad they're doing this. Increase Ancestral Sword single hit damage from 24 to 26, and Whirlwind Slash single hit damage from 15 to 16. Reduced Bloodline Awakening, reduced healing from 35 to 25. Okay, so they're making him do more damage with his sword. I really would have liked to see a buff to his shotgun. Make that a little bit more like viable, do more damage with that. He is a DPS after all. And so, but they're buffing his sword, which I think is pretty good. It's only a 1 or 2 damage increase, but they're reducing. But they're reducing his Bloodline Awakening, his anti-heal from 35 to 25. That I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. I think with the buff up here to his sword, I think that any anti-heal will still be enough. Plus with Gambit in the meta, like Gambit can also anti-heal, so like you're not solely reliant on Blade to do any or all the anti-healing. All right, Daredevil. The man without fear loses a bit of grit. Thank the Lord. Remove the team up anchor, 25 bonus health. That's it? That's all we're doing to Daredevil, bro? He's kind of busted right now. He's kind of busted. They need to do something about his survivability. I mean, obviously, like, the 25... Taking off his 25 bonus health is doing something to his survivability, but, like, not by much. I don't think it's going to change a lot for him. That is actually crazy. I think they need to decrease his health more, not just by the team-up anchor ability. Alright, Human Torch. Johnny Storm slightly turns up the heat. I was a big Torch advocate when he was meta. I love the melee weave tech, and I know they just like silently added that back, only you don't gain your ammo back as fast. But I miss playing Human Torch, and the reason I don't play him is because of that ammo. So, let's see. Fire Cluster. Slightly reduced projectile spread. Okay. Increase single cast projectile damage from 5 to 5.5. Oh, okay. We're buffing. Okay. Adjust maximum fall off from 60% at 30 meters from 60% at 20 meters. Okay. So, from what I'm reading here, it spreads less. It has a little bit of a damage increase, but the fall off will happen sooner. That's really good. I think with shortening the spread, he's going to become like a very good, like, I don't want to say one-shot character, but he's going to be able to kill a lot faster. Plus his damage bonus. But he has more here. So, alright. Blazing Blast, which is Human Torch's secondary ability. Reduce single charge speed from 3 to 2.5 seconds. Cool. And increase the hit damage from 40 to 45. Cool. Human Torch is getting a huge buff. I like this. I will be playing Torch again now, because they are increasing the damage on his primary and secondary. Plus, his Pyro Prison was already so good to begin with that I think this buff will like really shoot him back into the meta. Phoenix. Jean Grey's Fiery Spirit gets a slight summon boost. During Endsong Inferno, Phoenix's ultimate ability, increase Phoenix summon health from 400 to 500. So I think that means she just gets a health boost, right? Phoenix just gets a health boost when she ults. Like when she like resummons on the ground. Increase Phoenix Oh, no. They're increasing the actual bird. That's what it is. They're increasing the actual Phoenix that comes down from 400 to 500 to make it harder to kill. Because Phoenix ult is kind of easily countered if you do have like a Punisher or really like anyone with projectiles that can really shoot it. It is easily countered. So that's cool. Psylocke. Psylocke's ultimate is a little harder to unleash. Time to earn those butterfly blades. Increase the energy cost of Dance of the Butterfly from 2,800 to 3,400. Cool. This is a good little nerf for Psylocke because the main thing was becoming sit main, shoot tanks, go backline with your ultimate, rinse and repeat. And like that's not how you're supposed to play Psylocke. That's not fun. Like, because you're barely doing damage. You're basically just you're ult farming. You're charging up your ultimate, going backline, getting a couple kills. Like, Psylocke is an assassin. She's supposed to go invisible, go around, do a combo, dash back to the team. Like, so this is going to end, I hope, the whole sit main with Psylocke, shoot tanks, build up your ult, and then go backline. Like, so I think that's a cool little Psylocke nerf that they probably listened to the community on because she needed it. Scarlet Witch. Wanda's chaos magic is more explosive. Increase the charge to, how the fuck do you say that? Chthonian Burst by chaos control from 0.08 to 0.1. Okay, so her primary, the more damage you do with her primary, it gives back your secondary faster. Increase Dark Seal projectile speed from 40 meters per second to 60 meters per second and remove spell field generation delay. So as soon as you put out her her anti-move ability, the little bubble that you get trapped in, it's going to go further and it's just going to expand automatically. Like, it's just going to be there. There is no cast time. Increase reality erasure's enemy pull speed from 2.4 meters per second to 3 meters per second. So I believe last patch, or maybe 2 patches ago, they gave her ultimate ability a secondary ability where whenever she starts using it, it'll start pulling players in. So they're just increasing that. Instead of 2.4 meters per second, it'll be 3 meters per second. That could be really good. I think I saw someone kind of test this out on TikTok, and it was pulling Thing pretty fast, but he shouldn't be able to be pulled. It was pulling someone pretty fast. So I think that'll be this will be a good little buff for Scarlet. Punisher, Frank Castle's got a little more firepower. Watch your 6. Increase adjudication damage per hit from 19 to 20. So Punisher's getting a little bit of an increase on his primary fire, just by 1. I don't see the big rave about that. I think he was strong to begin with. I don't even think he really needed this buff. I think he was good where he was at, but I mean, I really don't see the point in this one. If you're a avid Punisher player, let me know if you guys think he needed a buff below. Wolverine, Logan's ultimate just got a whole lot more freedom to leap, slash, and surprise his foes with every angle. Last Stand can now target walls for its landing point. Nice! That was a little glitchy to begin with. I thought it was just a glitch when I started playing Wolverine. But yeah, you couldn't dive people back into the walls. You had to do it on the ground. But now, just like Bucky's ultimate, where it has a little circle for where you're going to land, you can now put it on the wall. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I like that buff a lot. Now we're on to Strategist. And we have Gambit. The Ace of Spades can't tell you about how much he never folds as often. Increased energy cost of Rage and Royal Flush from 4,300 to 4,500. Okay, so it's going to take a little bit longer to get his ultimate ability. That's fine. He still has other cleanses that he could use other than his ultimate. His ultimate's probably the fastest way to do it, but I mean, I don't see this as really a nerf for him. I still think he will stay in the meta and be just as good. Invis Woman. Sue Storm's invisibility trick is now a little more precious. Increase the energy cost of Invisible Boundary from 4,300 to 4,500. Same thing as Gambit. It was impossible, well, it still kind of feels like it's impossible to dive this Strategist comp specifically because of how fast they would get their ultimates and how much abilities they have to keep you away. So, increasing her ult charge will be really good. Invis Woman is still kind of broken right now. I don't think this will take her down any ranks, but I do think that this is a good nerf for her. Loki. The Trickster God's illusions are even more potent. Increase damage and healing ratio of Loki's doppelgangers from 80 to 90%. Loki was in desperate need of a buff. He has needed a buff for about 2.5 seasons now, possibly even 3. I don't know what happened. They nerfed him at some point, and he's just been dog shit ever since. He's not a good pick. So the increase in damage and healing is good. He desperately needs it. I want to see Loki back into the meta as well. Luna Snow. Oh my god, there's a whole paragraph. Okay, Luna Snow's cooled... Whoa. Luna Snow cools down her foes even faster and gets a brand new ability. She's never beating the allegations, is she? Yo, they're acknowledging it, dude. They're acknowledging it. Okay, she has a new ability. What the fuck? Okay. Reduce absolute zero startup time and increase projectile speed from 60 meters per second to 80 meters per second. Okay, that's her little snowball. That's her freeze. And they're reducing... Dude, they love buffing Luna Snow. Like, she was in a good spot, too. New ability as well. Let's take a look at this. Luna Snow can now apply Idle Aura to herself, separate from Share the Stage. When Idle Aura is active, 10% of healing to allies is converted into healing for Luna Snow herself. She gains a 10% healing boost and 10% damage boost. What the fuck? What the fuck? Why did we give her this ability? Okay, so just like Mag in the Season 5, patch notes, he actually got both of his bubbles separated so he could bubble himself and bubble an ally. But now Luna Snow can put the snowflake on someone and put a snowflake on herself. And so now she has a self-heal. Now she has a decent self-heal. And she gains a healing boost and damage boost. What the fuck? It's going to be impossible to kill anything this season. I don't think she needed this whatsoever. I don't think she needed a buff whatsoever. Especially a damage boost, too. Like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? Alright, on to Rocket. Rocket's ultimate takes a little more juice to fire off. Okay, his energy cost for CYA, 4,000 and 4,300. That's good. I like it. Their Rocket ults should be precious. We should be trying to use them in more of like a strategic way instead of like, I have ult this fight, I'm gonna pop it, I'll have it for next fight too, because it takes such a short time to get. I think that is a very, 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 very good increase to the time it takes you to get his ult. Because Rocket genuinely did have his amplifier every single fight. Ultron, I am super, super, super excited about this one. I loved playing Ultron, and now he's just absolutely dog shit. And you can't play Ultron. You can't play Ultron without someone thinking you're throwing, because he's just that bad. Like, Black Widow does more healing than him with her team-up ability. Whew! So I already saw a little bit of this, but I'm still going to go through it. Ultron's battlefield coverage and utility are evolving. Imperative patch, he can now deploy 2 drones, allowing for support on 2 allies at once. He will have 2 healing drones now. Very good. You can cover more of the team. I love that. Imperative firewall now requires a target with imperative patch to use. After Ultron gains 65 bonus health, the target and nearby allies get 50 bonus health, plus the selected ally gains a 20% movement speed and 10% damage boost. So after, I believe it's your right click, the one where it gives him shield, you gain 65 shield, the target and nearby allies get 50 bonus health, but allies with a drone on them get a 20% movement speed buff and a 10% damage boost. I think Ultron is going to definitely hop back into the 3 support meta. Possibly even 2. He might be good with 2. This is very good. And then they increased his Rage of Ultron ultimate ability from 3,700 to 4,000. He was another one that got his ultimate super duper fast. Had it for every single fight. But it's not too great. So like I can see why they gave him this little nerf while giving him this rework up here. But it's not even really a rework, I wouldn't say. Not too much of a rework. It's more like a buff. But I could see why they added this whoa, nerf. There we go. Alright, now we're up to team-up abilities. Added or removed. Chilling Assault. Emma Frost is being added to Luna Snow's and Iron Fist Chilling Assault. I saw this on TikTok too. This is nuts. So, Emma Frost, already is a great tank. We saw at the very beginning of the video she's getting a health adjustment because she's losing her team-up anchor. But let's just read this. The Iced Out Emma Frost is joining the Ice Fray. Emma Frost unlocks a new Iced Out Diamond ability through her team-up with Luna Snow. What I saw was Emma Frost can create a ice wall behind an enemy. It's probably going to be a whole different key to summon it. She can create an ice wall behind the enemy. That way, when she goes into Diamond Form and choke slams them, she can also kick them into it. It also walls them off from their team just like a Groot wall would. But it's kind of curved. It's kind of like in a C shape. So you can kick them back into the wall. That is going to be crazy. I think that alone is enough for Emma to still be banned. That is nuts. And to play Luna and Snow over a Gambit or an Invis. Especially with the Invis change, or especially with the Luna Snow changes we just read about her having this brand new fucking ability and damage boost and blah blah blah. Alright, Explosive Entanglement. Gambit, Magneto, and now it includes Rogue. Rogue's got a new trick up her sleeve. Rogue receives the Hearts as One ability through her team up with Magneto, or Gambit, sorry. So, from what I'm reading, this is Gambit's healing card, and she'll just have that. That's kind of crazy. I think, not only do I think Rogue will automatically be permabanned in Ranked, but if she gets through and Gambit gets through, that is a problem. You're going to have a lot of healing on that team. So imagine playing a comp of Groot, Mantis, Rogue, Gambit, Loki, and I don't know, pick someone. Pick a DPS. Bucky, easiest one in the game, does a ton of damage. That's unkillable shit right there. That is nuts. So Rogue is going to have Gambit's Purify and his fast heal with the cards. That's nuts. That is actually crazy. Mental Projection, Emma Frost and Psylocke is now being broken. The psychic link is broken. Mental Projection team up is now just a memory. Emma Frost loses 100. Bonus health, we already covered that. Team up is no longer. Sword of Duality, we saw this in Season 5 where they added Hawkeye and Cloak and Dagger, but they're now adding Psylocke. Psylocke's Arsenal gets a new edge. Psylocke unlocks the new Light and Dark Darts ability through her team up with Cloak and Dagger. I don't know exactly what that means. Maybe she can activate Light or Dark Darts, and whatever, like if she hits someone with them, she'll get some healing, or it'll also apply an anti-heal if you choose the Dark Darts. I'm not too sure about that one. I haven't seen any gameplay of it yet. Bestial Hunt, Daredevil and Punisher. Daredevil's toughness gets trimmed. We saw this. We're slightly reducing Daredevil's survivability gained from being the team-up anchor. Daredevil loses 25 bonus health from the team-up. And that is it. This wasn't too big of a... This wasn't too big of a team-up. So the fact that this is gone already is just like, whatever. I mean, it wasn't real good. It wasn't real bad. I don't think it did too much, though. But getting rid of at least some of his bonus health is good. The reason I don't think it's going to do much is because when he uses some of his abilities, he already gains bonus health, just like Bucky. So, like, removing that bonus health isn't going to do too much if he's still already gaining Overshield from the abilities he already uses. Alright, but that is all the updates in the patch notes. But, yeah, that was all the Season 5.5 patch notes, plus the first look at Rogue and Marvel Rivals. If you guys like these patch notes videos, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to do more of them. I love talking about Marvel Rivals and going through each thing that comes up. Please like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.